Off play action, Pickett. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Pickett. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he is going to have the 1st down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the 1st.
So the goal is at least a 1st down here, right? Pick up a 1st down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. Again, it's Kamara. And he's got room. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 40 yards rushing so far, and this is just their 1st possession. They've got a new set of downs here. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league. It's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's got some space here. He's got room at the 30. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here's Steven Sims on the return from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
On second down, Kamara. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away. And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Pickett. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And that's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Winston. He's going to look deep down the field. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. Back deep is Steven Sims. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Zach Baun from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Looking to throw, Pickett. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Presley Harvin now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again.
And it's intercepted in the end zone. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Back to it after the pick 6. Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave it with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Kamara up the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Here's Blake Gillikin now. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. On 2nd and 11 now. Pickett. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On third down, Winston.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 5. Shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And now following the safety, they'll have the football with a chance to take the lead as they begin following the free kick with a 1st and 10.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
2nd and 7.
Now Winston.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football. Knowing full well, he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Winston now. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Winston keeps it himself. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 2, Pickett. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. That's swung out wide to Harris. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Pickett sets up play action. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So a capper there with a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to air one out. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Devin Bush sprinting behind the line to track down the ball carrier. Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. Complete. It's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
first down. Winston
tries the left side and finds Olave.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down. Here's Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
They'll throw again. Winston. Looking long for Thomas. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Saints have come back to make it a 2-point game. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Here's Sims now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Off play action. Pickett.
Steps away to his left.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they have their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. To throw is Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin Bush able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they have regained the lead.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover, but CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, That'll hurt a little bit more, but this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Third quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Cameron Jordan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Hardy set to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a third-quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Play action now. Winston. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We have played 3 quarters. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Winston.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage. Coming up and making the big-time play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. On play action, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston.
And the Saints are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Here's Sims now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw into the hands here of Hardman.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Pickett to throw on first down.
And his throw here is incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
To throw again on second down.
Pickett
taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's Pickett.
Dancing to his left.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Pickett right back to the air again. Setting up the screen, Harris.
They find some open field here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 39 yards there, a big one.
That's why you call a screen. You want to catch a defense over-committing. Plenty of space available, and that matched up perfectly. What a convoy he got downfield to pick up big yardage on that play.
Pickett back to throw.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Mecole Hardman
with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball? Here, or you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity, or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point out by Boswell. And the lead is up to 5. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Back to it after the pick six. Winston. He's got a man. Complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now it's Kamara in the passing game.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. That's going to be caught. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the 10.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. One final shot for Pickett. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted.
Marcus May with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Saints, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else, in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.